Around 30,000 public school teachers in Victoria have walked off the job for the first time in 13 years today over wages and conditions. Let's cross to Steph Ferrier, who is at a rally at Melbourne's Trade Hall. Steph, what's happening there?
Good morning, Gemma. Well, the rally is just about to start with the big march down to Parliament House now. Right behind me, you can see this sea of red. Now, it's a bit difficult to see because we're downhill from Trades Hall, but behind this lot of people, there are thousands of teachers here, and they have turned up, probably up to 30,000. It's really quite a phenomenal scene, to voice their anger at what they call a pitiful pay offer by the state government. So they have flatly rejected the 17% over 4 years. They are calling for 35%. Now, I think that this is just about to start, so we're going to start walking as well. And what they are saying is that that is because they are the lowest paid in the country and the lowest funded in the country. So they are saying that, for example, a graduate teacher is only getting paid just under $79,000. That is a 13% drop on their counterparts in New South Wales. The gap widens when they become experienced teachers to about a sixth of that. And for those starting as a principal, that gets up to 18% compared with their New South Wales counterparts. And here we heard from Justin Malu, who is at the moment just heading up this march. He's the Victorian State President of the Australian Education Union, and he has said that they are not ruling out the possibility of escalating industrial action if the state government does not listen to their concerns. This is what he had to say on News Breakfast early.
Teachers, education support staff and principals are deeply frustrated. They don't feel supported, and they're underpaid and undervalued. We're deeply sympathetic about the impact it has on children, on families, and we would actually prefer to be at work today. We want to be in front of classrooms, we want to be supporting children's learning, but the government haven't done enough.
So that's Justin Malu, who is the Victorian State President of the Australian Education Union, speaking on News Breakfast. You can see that this is closing down city streets at the moment. There is a huge crowd of teachers. They're joined by principals and also education support staff. We have heard from the state government. They have said, despite the fact that this is involving some 500 public schools around Victoria, that the schools are still operating. Now, they're actually doing that as a result of, sorry, I'm just going to have to move our camera operator Tara here to the side, but they're actually doing this as a result of this protracted pay negotiation that's been going on for 9 months now. And Ben Carroll, the Deputy Premier and also Education Minister, we're just going to move away because there is a bit of a fire emergency that's happening in the middle of this rally, as you can see. Now, this is going to continue. They're showing their support to the emergency services, and of course some of the schools have also got standby staff still on for the children of those emergency services workers. But Ben Carroll says that those negotiations will continue. This is what he had to say.
I do regret that the union has taken industrial action today. To the teachers taking industrial action and to the teachers that are at class today, I hear you, I understand you, and I thank you for every day pouring yourself into our most vital resource, our school children.
Okay, so that's Ben Carroll, who is the Deputy Premier and also the Education Minister. But you can see the anger. It's quite palpable here. I've been speaking to so many teachers at the moment, and they have been talking about how difficult this has been for them. A lot of them are really facing a big pressure in terms of cost of living, but they're prepared to actually take the day off work, take the dock in pay to show just how upset they are. I spoke to one worker, one teacher, she's a senior music teacher, and she just said she would love to be here to actually look after her Year 12 students instead of having to rally. But she said this is so important to make sure that the system remains sustainable and teachers actually stay in this profession. Let's have a listen to some of them now.
There's a lot of frustration amongst teachers. I think it's a fantastic turnout. It just shows how everybody's feeling, and everybody's sort of at one.
Last year alone, I did 130 hours of time in lieu on top of my normal teaching load. That's not including the time that I gave. I'm at school at 7:30 every morning.
We should be earning a wage where we can keep our 3 children afloat and pay our mortgage, pay our groceries, pay for petrol, and it's getting harder and harder. Not only that, the conditions are just getting worse and worse.
I think it's very important that my mum gets the pay rise because she doesn't get paid enough and because she does really long hours and she deserves more.
That's 9-year-old little Smith there saying that his mum should be getting a little bit more pay, and he said that obviously he often doesn't see his mum until quite late because of the hours that she does for her teaching. But there is definitely a mood of defiance here behind me. You can see a lot of people wanting to get their message heard, and they will be going to State Parliament right now to have more speeches and actually stand at the halls of power and say, this is what we would like to see. Now, we've heard, of course, from Ben Carroll saying, notwithstanding this teacher's anger that we're seeing here, he's calling the pay offer that the government has offered significant and compelling.